Well, I'm sitting here waiting on my computer to copy files, so I have nothing better to do, so I thought I'd share some thoughts with you. I am not a financial planner, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing well. So in that process, I'm paying a lot of attention to things. And uh, again, I'm not the expert. I'm just trying to listen to people who are putting out stuff I think is valid. And I'm going to share some of that with you tonight because I'm going to talk about crypto. I hadn't talked about that in a while. Do have previous videos talking about crypto. It's something that I am quite sure is the future. There is no doubt. I think Franklin, anyway, the insurance company, uh, is investing in crypto. Part of what crypto is doing is everything's going on blockchain. So your stocks, you hold stocks in the future, it'll all be on blockchain. Contracts will all be on blockchain. That's sort of the way things are going. You won't have a paper anything anymore. You won't have a PDF on your USB drive. It'll all be on the blockchain, where you have multiple people who can verify that it exists and what's there. So and supposedly strangers who are doing it, just the way the blockchain is set up. So people don't even know who the other guy is. I'm sure somebody probably can figure those things out, but it won't be the average guy, and you know, we'll see how that goes as the future rolls on. But a couple of quotes or concepts that I've heard here in the last few days I thought I'd share is one of them was that the weekend is a prime time for manipulation of the market. So that means that what you see going on in the market on the weekend may not be representative of what really the market is generally doing or where it's generally headed. So the person was trying to point out, I think that was Economic Ninja, I think, was trying to point out that, don't get too upset about what's going on in the over the weekend. Right now, the crypto market is just jumping up and down. It's really going nowhere. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's doing things that look. I'm not watching it every 2 seconds to try to catch when it goes up 5% and then it comes back down 3% and comes down 8% and goes back up 2%. I'm in it for a longer term. However, we are in what they could say is a crypto cycle. Okay, and this happened before a time, at least once, if not twice, and that is where in a general concept, Bitcoin gets going, it gets overtaken, and then altcoin season. That's what I'm trying to say. Bitcoin gets going. Right now, Ethereum seems to be overtaking it, and in weeks to a few months, then all these altcoins that are sort of suppressed right now will shoot. Now this is this is the way markets do. So there's, as you know, just psychology to markets. So it doesn't mean that the value of the crypto or the value of a stock is really what people are trying to pay for. But once things get going, many people FOMO in, right? They fear of losing out, right? So FOMO, fear of, anyway, I don't know. Remind me, make a comment. But anyway, so people jump in. Now this has happened in the stock market for ages. This is not new again. And it happens in the crypto market as well. So that's what we're heading into, this season where things are really going to take off. And it won't be just because of that. There's a lot of things are happening with crypto. It's becoming stronger and stronger. It has more and more uses, etc. It's got more reality to it. People are actually using it in different places, etc. So, and we're not the only country in the world. So there's countries around the world where people may be using this more than you and I because we are confident with our credit cards or whatnot, and they may have prefer to use a crypto. Uh, Crypto technology is not new. Uh, as we know, some guy, I can't remember his name. I think I do, but I'm not going to say it in case I blew it. But supposedly a Japanese guy created it for the benefit of humanity, and it as used to, everybody was talking about it being, oh, crypto is great because it's not run by the banks. It's not run by anybody. It's outside of anybody's economy. Well, the problem with that is that may work in a world where everything is falling apart. But until the world falls apart, financial concerns and are going to want to have more control over it. So these financial concerns are coming in with their own things, okay, and they're supporting cryptos, certain cryptos, etc. Banks, etc. are doing this, and companies. So this is why you see President Trump, wanting to make America the crypto capital of the world, because he wants to have control of that. He wants people to come be using American technology, American cryptos. He doesn't want he wants the dollar to have some relevance, I guess. And so we've got cryptos, stable coins that are connected to the dollar now. So whenever you use one stable coin, it is worth $1 worth of treasury notes. Okay, it's connected to the treasury as I understand it. So the point is, I don't know who this so-called Japanese guy was, and I pretty much don't believe there was a nice, benevolent Japanese man. But I think this whole Bitcoin thing started out as a way to move us onto crypto technology, get us used to it, get certain people dealing with it. And of course, a very small percent of people have done that. And you have some people who think Bitcoin is the only crypto, and they might have bought the. Yeah. Now I wish I'd done it. I wish I'd bought Bitcoin at $5. I wish I'd bought it at 20, etc. But it's now at about it's up there around $120 right now. So if you bought it back when it was 5 or 10 or 20 or 15 or 30 or whatnot, then you've made some good money. You've at least got your investment back for sure. And if you held on to it and sold a little bit of time, then you made more and more money as you went along. Of course, a lot of people are taking gains, and then when it goes back down, they invest in it again and wait for it to go back up. They take gains again. So they're making money back and forth. But personally, I'm not on top of it that much. I have taken gains, but only what I didn't know for a long time, my just being ignorant. I didn't know that you could buy a part of a Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin was up about $35, and I'm going, I can't afford Bitcoin. Or even when it was 20, I can't afford Bitcoin. I'm like, you gotta go buy 2 Bitcoins, forget it, But then, of course, they come in, 1/1,000,000th of a coin of a crypto, these things. So you can get a little bitty piece of them. So if you think Bitcoin is going to skyrocket up to $500,000, as some people do, or $1,000,000, as some people do, then you might say $120 isn't that too much to invest. You might want to take a shot at it. That's up to you. Right now, I'm not really running after Bitcoin, but a major point of what I'm talking about tonight is the fact that Bitcoin, crypto, this is not new stuff. These things have been around for decades. These things were all planned. I believe they're all planned. Okay. Financial leaders have been running the world forever. This is not new to you. How do you think America won World War II? You had companies who came in together and worked for the government, etc. These Maybe a company is doing it for patriotic reasons. Maybe they're just doing it because they can make a lot of money. And once that war's over, what do? They got to find another thing to do. And so they're always looking for something. And they're all rubbing elbows. They all eat at the same restaurant, if you get my drift. Restaurants that you and I don't go to because I don't pay, I'm not going to pay $100 for a meal, etc. But, and I'm not looking to gain favor of somebody in power either. So I don't play that game, and you probably don't play that game. But that's the game that's always played. And we're silly if we don't accept that reality. So I think that, therefore, well, let me give you a couple other pieces of information. Right now, if you haven't heard of Blackrock, you need to look up Blackrock. Blackrock is the biggest company in the world, basically. It runs everything. It runs everything. So go look it up if you don't know enough about BlackRock. And Larry Fink is the president of BlackRock. Now, somebody you might have heard about before, the dastardly, and what's funny is that his accent and everything goes along with that dastardly kind of character, villain character, was Klaus Schwab. He's like a Bond villain, right? And Klaus Schwab was one of the creators of the World Economic Forum and the WEF. And he's retired, and now Larry Fink is in that position. He's the guy at the top of the World Economic Forum. I think that tells you something. Okay? So, the World Economic Forum is all these people from all over the world, primarily the United States and Europe, but all over the world, who are running the economies. And they're the ones that come up with the idea that we're going to have nothing and be happy, and that we're going to eat insects and those kind of things, okay? They're the ones that are behind all of this heavy central planning that we've been doing for the last 30 or 40 years. In my profession, I have participated in it. I've been an adjunct professor. I have taught about it. I used to think, yeah, this is the way to go. And there's a lot of reasons why you would think that. As a landscape architect, one of the things that I always thought was sort of sad is that we no longer have kings, because it takes a king to be able to really be able to, most of the time, throughout history, to be able to say, hey, I'm going to wipe out half of a town and I'm going to create a beautiful boulevard or a beautiful garden and everything. We'll move those people somewhere else. I'm the king. I can do it. And we don't have kings anymore. So it's a lot harder to do it. But that's basically what central planning is about, is trying to find a way to get us to do what the guys above everybody wants done. Okay, for their reasons. Now, they come up with all kind of good reasons why we need to do it. Oh, it's more economical, it's safer. They'll give you the whole line. And it's not that it's not true what they're saying. So therefore, it was easy for me to believe it all. But the thing is, it may not be actually for the reasons that they are pushing or explaining. Okay, I'm having to take my professional CEUs that I have to take every 2 years to renew my license. And I have to listen to these people spout off all this planning stuff, that they know nothing. They're just spouting off what they've been told, and they believe it, and so they re-spout it off. These are the professionals I have to sit and listen to. Anyway, so I think that Bitcoin is really just a honeypot. Now, Bitcoin, another way of saying this is Bitcoin is basically very similar to the tulips that they had the tulip explosion there back in, I think it was 1700s, somewhere 1700s. I did a video about that. You can go look it up. And that's where people were speculating on tulips. And so at one point, it got to be where a tulip bulb was worth the value of a house in Amsterdam. I think it was Amsterdam. Well, that's a heck of a lot. Can you imagine somebody coming up to you and saying, "Hey, I got a tulip bulb or a daylily bulb or whatever, and I want to trade this for your house. Well, that's absurd. That's where it got, okay? And I believe that we're going to get there with Bitcoin, okay? It's because people are just drinking the Kool-Aid, all right, and believing they're going to be the one that makes the big money. And so people will hop on, and it'll go up just like the stock market right now continues. Certain stocks keep going up, 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 up. And that's not because their stocks are worth that. That's just what people are throwing their money at. They got some money, they're throwing it at it. So Bitcoin will go up. At some point, it's going to break. It's going to come down. It'll come down hard, I believe. I don't mean that it will go to nothing ever. And it may not come down too far. If you bought it right now, maybe it'll go up to 500,000 and come back down to 150,000. And so you still will be in good shape. But if you bought it at 500,000 and it goes down to 150,000, that's pretty sad. That's where people start jumping off the buildings like the Great Depression. So that's what I think is going to end up with Bitcoin now. And some of the other coins that are just speculative. They're speculative, purely speculative coins. They have no value behind them. They have no more value than the wooden nickel did. Okay? They have no more value than your dollar bill, which is just a piece of paper. We've just agreed that dollar bill is worth a pack of candy now, right? Used to, it was worth 4 pieces of candy. Now it's worth 1. So we're agreeing that it's only worth 4, only worth now 1 now. But anyway, that's what it's worth, just what you and I agree with. And of course, that's true with gold and silver and things like that. But historically, gold tends to hold its value. It is maintained and actually done better than the stock market in the last 34 years. It's been poo-pooed a lot, but that's where it goes. People who are trying to sell stock don't want you to buy gold. So, and you buy gold, you tend to hold on to it, and then it's not, your money isn't free to flow around the market. So they want that money flowing in and out of the markets. That's how they make their bucks. Maybe there'll be a good marketer, maybe the United States government will do it. Maybe it'll be Blackrock who'll come out with a great marketing campaign, and they'll keep Bitcoin propped up pretty good. Okay, but it'll only be as propped up as far as you and I decide if we're investing in it, think it's worth. Now, on the other hand, the blockchain is real. It has value. And cryptos that provide utility, they will have value. They have some value now, and they will have more value because they provide utility. Just like I said earlier, XRP is a gas token. Or maybe I didn't say that. I think I meant to say it, but I think I skipped it. XRP is a gas token that powers the tokenization of things. So some tokens are used to make things happen on the blockchain. Other things provide other kind of utilities on the blockchain. But they're things that in order for you to get your contract on the blockchain, for you to send money to your grandmother on the blockchain, for you to buy your house on the blockchain, because that's the way you're going to be doing it, there have to be these cryptos with utility to assist us in doing those things. And those are worthy. Okay, so some utility, there's more than what I'm going to say, but a few that I hear bandied around are obviously XRP. XRP's been very popular here recently. Ethereum, although it is doing very well from investors, Ethereum is a different kind of thing. The problem is it's a slower moving technology. So XRP is going to move in a few seconds. Ethereum's going to take a few minutes. Bitcoin takes a whole lot of time. So no one thinks Bitcoin is really a usable everyday kind of currency. And the best they think it is it's a place, it's where you're sticking your money instead of putting it into the bank. You're going and putting it on the blockchain. That's where your money is, and it's invested in a Bitcoin crypto. So XRP, I'm sure you've heard of it. XLM is one that's banded around a lot these days. HBAR, it's been around a little bit. Um, XCD, I think is XDC, XCD. Ondo is a different kind of technology. So these are just examples. You need to go do your own research if you want to get into it. If you're going to hold on to your cryptos, then you want to invest in your own cold wallet so that it doesn't stay on the exchanges. If you're trading back and forth, people who trade back and forth, maybe over a period of weeks or months, they leave their stuff on some of these exchanges like Coinbase or Crypto.com or Uphold. Those are just some that come to mind, and others. Binance, I think, is one. So if you're trading, then you might leave it there. Otherwise, you want to take it off, store it on your own cold storage wallet, so that just in case somebody figures out how to get into these wallets, these big wallets, then you won't get your money stolen. So it's the same thing as well. Somebody might be able to go in your bank account or some way and steal the money out of your bank account, right? I mean, these days people can do all kind of crazy things if they can find their way to weasel into it. But those are some, and the guy in the description below is a video by Nick. I'm showing you that because I want you to see what he's saying, and he's just giving you the information right from the World Economic Forum. He's just reading it out to you, and you can hear for yourself how they're playing the game. Okay, it's their plan. What you're doing right now, what you hear is, oh, this is cool new stuff. No, this is stuff that they've all been about. They're the ones in charge of it all. But Nick, I think one of the things he mentioned was he likes HBAR right now. So he'll talk about things that he thinks are currently undervalued. So and one of those right at the moment is HBAR. Not that it's way cheap. There's some things that are way cheap, but that's only because nobody yet really understands what they're worth. And when the average person starts understanding the value of something, all of a sudden some of these things go up. So they'll go up 2,000% in one day once people get it. Okay, once the right people get it, it'll just go up because the right person gets it, understands it. He says something about it, and then other people who listen to him, they jump on board. All of a sudden, you had a 1 penny crypto, and now it's 40 cents just in a matter of a day. And then it'll stay at 40 cents for days, weeks, and possibly it'll drop a little bit, but then it'll go back up some more, as time goes on. And that's what's happened with HBAR. So right now, HBAR is one of those he thinks, at least recently, he's been saying it's sort of undervalued, and so he thinks it'll be worth, probably in the next few months, worth 4 times as much as it is right now, in general. Now, that doesn't mean in a year it'll be that, because as I mentioned earlier in the video, we're in alt season, or we're headed into alt season, according to the experts, right? And so things are going to go up, and then they'll hit a high, and then they'll drop back down. Then possibly they'll drop back down to where they are today, but it's likely that they'll won't come all the way down, and then they'll sort of slowly move along with different trade and go up a little bit and go up a little bit, etc. as people come to use these technologies more and more and more. So this is what I understand. I'm always trying to find out what's real, what reality is, what's true. And as I always tell you, if you want to know what the truth is, that's what matters to you, and that's all that matters to me. I'm not interested in your lies or anybody's lies. I'm not interested in supporting something that's not true. I want to know what the truth is. And so if you do, then I suggest you just pray to your Creator. Say, hey, all I care about is the truth. I don't care what it means, what it brings me, where I'll be once I find out. I want to know the truth. and I think you'll find it. Have a good day.